Do you ever feel really stuck and disappointed in yourself and like you're getting it wrong over and over again? And you feel like a hypocrite because the things that you stand for, you just seem to be messing up all the time? Well, you are not alone. And today we're going to talk about that and break it down and figure out what are some simple things we can do to get back on track.
Hey parents, welcome to Fulfillment Therapy. Do you want to raise your kids better and have a stronger marriage? Are you up late at night researching marriage and parenting tools and self-care tips? Do you start each day hoping for deeper connections and less chaos, but it ends with family arguments and going 12 different directions again? My name's Kendra, wife, mom, therapist, and growth enthusiast. It wasn't until I discovered how to fulfill my unmet needs that I was finally able to show up as my best self, as a spouse and parent. I realized that by meeting my needs, I could more fully meet the needs of my family, with more energy and less resentment. In this podcast, I teach parents skills like boundary setting, prioritizing personal needs, communication, and claiming ownership. Just like my clients, you'll be shocked by the improvement in your marriage, parenting, and personal life when you focus on fulfilling your important unmet needs. Ready to prioritize yourself so you can quit mentally throat punching people? Then grab those earbuds and head outside, and let's rock and talk.
Welcome back to Fulfillment Therapy, my friends. I am actually doing something a little out of the norm right now. I am doing this episode while I'm on a walk. I'm in the thick of content creation for many courses, and I've been doing that for several months, and I absolutely love it. I love creation. I love being in flow. I love stretching myself and challenging myself. And yet, when I'm doing that, sometimes the other things that I care a lot about fall by the wayside a little bit. And it's hard not to get discouraged with myself because I'm meeting my goals. I'm becoming who I want to become. But then other things can get off track. For example, I'm preoccupied way more than usual. I'm completely exhausted at the end of the day when I've spent 8 to 10 hours in pure creation mode. And I'm more short-tempered. I'm not as present with my family. All of these things that I very much believe in doing, like having a work-life balance, being there for my family, not being so depleted that I'm running on fumes, the exact things that I'm trying to teach people in my courses. So I feel somewhat like a hypocrite, and I'm sure you felt the same things before as you've tried to stand up for things, whether that's your faith, whether that's family, whatever that might be, even gifts and talents that you might have, or encouraging people to do things and then finding that you're not doing those things yourselves. I often see that with doctors or coaches, that they are often not very healthy themselves. And that is one thing that I promised myself a long time ago that I would do, is I wouldn't be a hypocrite when it came to the way that I lived. I would do everything I could to practice what I preach. And I promise you, I always try to uphold that. And I have to course correct all of the time, as I'm sure you do as well. Now, the enemy to this is discouragement and doubt, because when I start to doubt myself, I lose that momentum or that desire to course correct and to apologize and to be humble and go and make adjustments so that I am living more in alignment with my true self. So that is what I'm trying to do today. I don't typically record podcast episodes while I'm walking and there's dogs around and garbage trucks and all sorts of things. And yet I know that I need to take more breaks. I don't like that word need. I want to take more breaks. I need to step out of one creation mode to another. I want to connect with my kids a little bit. They have off of school today, so I took a little time to talk to them. Also, another tip that I'm going to give you. I recognize that I'm doing this, but I know that I have deadlines as well. So I've talked to them and we've tried to readjust and try to make new commitments and try again. And there's some things that you can do to make it fun. For example, I don't have a lot of open blocks during the day, especially if my kids have off of school like they do today. So, because family is my greatest priority beyond my faith, I'm really trying to make use of little pockets of time. So my son expressed a desire to get stronger. So we are going to the gym 3 afternoons a week. And he still wants to get a little bit stronger. And he mentioned that he wants to do some push-ups and pull-ups outside of that. So I quickly put together a chart and I put it up on my wall. And for the whole family, I said, hey, whoever wants to do this, we're just going to do a fun challenge. And my son wants it so that it incrementally grows each week. And we're going to do this for 3 weeks. At the end of it, we're just going to have a fun date. And I'll take each of you one-on-one, whoever decides they want to do it. With my son and I, he wants to do 25 pull-ups and 25 push-ups. And then every week go up by 5 each weekday. So for little breaks, I'll do that with him throughout the day or the evening. And those are just quick ways to reconnect and to bond and to help him reach his goals. So that's one small thing that I do. Another thing I try to do is just remember what my highest priorities are. Now, I truly love helping other people, but I don't want to look back on my life with regret with my key relationships. So I'm really trying to recommit to putting my family first. If something comes up or if they're home or whatever it is, that work is not my number one priority. Now, I know some of you are stay-at-home parents. I was for a long time, and that it still goes for even that role. For example, are your relationships your number one priority, or is having a clean house your priority, or making sure everything is orderly, or that errands are run, or whatever they are, that's a distraction for you. So just something to keep in mind. Another thought I had is I was listening to something by Brendan Burchard, and he's a high-performance coach, and he talked about how the most successful people in the world take between 50 and 52 minutes every hour of the workday. They take a break. So that's part of why I started implementing that pull-up thing as well, something that I can have accountability to with my son and others. So maybe there's something that you can do during those quick breaks about every hour that you can reconnect to your highest priorities, whether that's family, whether that's faith, whether that is health, whatever that might be. Very quick little things to live a more value-led life. And the last thing that I want to talk about is stop telling yourself why you can't. For example, I often think throughout the day, like, there is no way I can do these courses and these podcasts and the things that I have committed to with my team and be a good mother and do all of these things. Now, sometimes they're very simple fixes and sometimes they're big. Like if this became so big that it was harming my family, then I would have to readjust my life. But if it's something that you can make those micro adjustments, start there. That is, again, why I did that 52-minute break or that one small break a day. Do something to reconnect to my family. So often I'll go on a walk. I'll send text messages or do a quick phone call with loved ones or friends to reconnect to those relationships that matter most. And I also very much value health and nature. So I will do things during those short breaks to realign with my values. Instead of just telling myself there's no extra time, if it's a priority, I create that time. So how many excuses are you making for not living a value-led life? I know another one that I am making right now is sometimes, and I see this a lot with my clients, it's very easy for us to prioritize certain relationships, but others are more challenging. Like for me, as a wife, it can be very difficult for me to prioritize that relationship to another adult. It feels very easy and instinctive to give to your children because they are dependents, but to give to an adult can be much more challenging because they are self-sufficient, they're doing their own thing, You're both like multitasking. You're both kind of doing this tag team thing to hit all the needs within the family. And it can be very easy to justify not investing as much in that relationship. So that is one that requires more humility and honest self-exploration in order to improve. So that is when I've been thinking a lot about, like, how can I take my marriage to the next level and become a better spouse? And in doing so, model for my children how to be better spouses themselves, healthy spouses. Where are you at with that? Is there something that you can do to improve your relationship, especially your marriage, that will help you live in greater alignment with your values and that you can do in small ways without making excuses? Some things that I've thought about lately are focusing on the positive, but sharing those things in small ways through audio text or voice text throughout the day, or doing small acts of service, or recommitting to being more positive and present for those arrivals and departures. I just talked about how I am really exhausted mentally at the end of the day, and so is my husband, because we also see many counseling clients, and those can be very draining, even though they're very fulfilling. But again, if this is our highest value and we want to live congruently and without hypocrisy, it requires more of that self-reflection and that honesty. Again, this goes back to not living this complacent life where we are just existing. Are you existing, or are you taking that extra step to live an intentional life according to your values? So many things go back to values, and I know you've heard me talk about this quite a lot, but I know that the people that I most value, that I most admire, are those that keep their values at the forefront of their lives and are constantly making those micro adjustments. So in conclusion today, my friends, I just encourage you to explore what your values are once more. Are you getting distracted, whether it's by the holidays coming up or by your wonderful pursuits that are helping people, but maybe you're not your highest priority? Maybe it's something else entirely. Maybe it's materialism. Maybe it's making money. Maybe it's toys. Whatever it is, we all get distracted. It's part of being human, right? But there is more joy and fulfillment available to us if we will take the time to be honest with ourselves and readjust with those tiny things instead of just being weighed down by our weaknesses. We can recommit in tiny ways, like those 1-hour breaks to reconnect, or those arrivals and departures, or whatever that might be for you, to lean in just a little bit. All right, my friends, don't forget to check out fulfillment.therapist.org. On January 1st, our team is releasing 3 courses, a personal growth course called Ignite Your Life, as well as a business course, the very first one in a group of 3 business courses that will help you in those very beginning steps. It's called Find Your Focus. It will help you decide what it is you want to focus on to create a passive income, an online business, and a podcast. So if that's something that you're interested in, check that out in January. The prices are so crazy affordable, and I do 10 times, easily 10 times as much as I can for that price so that you can have more than you need to thrive. And I do this from the lens of a therapist and a coach, combining high-performance training and therapy to help you become your best self and find that greater fulfillment. And our third course is Mend Your Marriage. Both Mend Your Marriage and Ignite Your Life are 12-week courses, and Find Your Focus as a 4-week course. So check them out. They are coming so soon, and they're going to be game-changing, I promise you. They also have added accountability, groups for homework help. They have tools that will take your life to the next level, and so much more. My friends, I promise you, if you've ever taken a course, you're going to see that this is above and beyond what you can expect that will help you change your life. So stop hesitating and start investing in yourself. And thank you for your patience if this audio is a little bit off as I'm walking outside recording this episode today, because I needed to enjoy the sun and I needed to take a break and I needed movement and nature as the weather is still so beautiful. Take care, my friends, and I'll see you back here soon.
Hey friends, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, chances are someone else would too. Would you take 30 seconds to share this with a friend who's looking for greater family fulfillment? And while you're sharing, tell me what you think about the show by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts. It refuels me when I hear this podcast is helping you, no matter what your house or your hair looks like. I'll meet you back here every Monday and Thursday morning for more episodes. Until then.